We should be here to talk about the football, but yet another day passes in Scottish football. And we're not here to talk about the football. We're going to stop saying football. Anyway, welcome back to Fog Football. We can open there. Can of beer for the working man. Anyway, listen to that. Can you hear it? You hear the Iron Brew rising there? That's great. Just Iron, well, I say sadly, just Iron Brew. Iron Brew's great, right? So let's reel that in straight away. But Spitgate, all right? There was commotion at the end of Ross County and Livi at the Tony Macaroni. It might be the home of the Set Fair Arena, but I mean, home of the Set Fair. I mean, we all know it doesn't really matter what form of public transport you take. There's never a Set Fair. They're up and down more than a yo-yo, folks. So I don't think home of the Set Fair really works, in my opinion. But let's talk about it. Yeah, so there was commotion at the end of the game. I was wondering what was going on because one of Ross County's coaching staff was absolutely fuming. And I was like, something has happened here. Now, apparently, Carl Tremarco was spat at. Yes, you heard that right. Spat at. A fracas ensued. There was an irate Livingston fan gesturing and shouting immediately behind the visitors' dugout. This is what Dan Cowie told BBC Scotland, and I quote, "One of their fans overstepped the mark by spitting on our assistant manager's face. There is no place for that. When it happens, our staff want to protect each other because it's a disgusting thing to happen. I wanted to calm the situation down. Livingston have been first class. They have CCTV here, so they'll identify who it was and take action." End of quote. Right, I tell you what, right? Man to man, whatever to whatever, no one, and I mean nobody, is accepted being spat on in the face. It is one of the most disgusting acts that you can produce to a fellow human being. It is downright disgusting, and I do not blame the Ross County assistant Carl Tremarco for wanting to absolutely batter the Livingston fan. Absolutely not. Now thankfully I've never actually been spat in the. Well, I mean, everyone's kind of to a degree been spat in the face. You've been speaking to someone that accidentally, you know what I mean, a wee bit more saliva's came out than they're supposed to. But we're talking about, an absolute. It's right, right. I don't know why I talk about it. I do not know why I talk about it. But you understand where I'm coming from, alright? And yeah, I don't blame the Ross County coaching staff, but by God, if it's not chairs, if it's not VAR, if it's not bottle openers, Swiss Army knives, or saliva, spit. It's always something, isn't it? Now, County's chief executive Stephen Ferguson echoed his manager's comments, adding that the Highland Club are not going to accept that. Livingston manager Davy Martindale did not witness the incident, but he said it's disgusting if true. I'm sure the club will get to the bottom of that. It's foul, disgusting, really, really disappointing. End of quote. I knew something happened. I mean, I think after the game ended, you definitely did see Martindale and Dan Curry share an exchange. And Martindale, it looked like he appeared to say sorry, but I mean, he's got nothing to say sorry for. But obviously, he's being manager of Livingston Football Club, and as a Livingston fan, he's obviously going to apologise. But yeah, I remember when I did the watch along earlier for the 4 people that tuned in. But here, I love doing watch alongs and doing streams. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. It did look like he definitely said to Curry, like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that," and of course he should be. Like, of course. Well, I mean, not that he should be, but of course he's going to say that because it's a fucking downright disgusting thing what the Livy fans did. You know what I mean? And like I've said at the start of this video, it is. I don't really want to talk about it. You know what I mean? But has to get talked about. We're a Scottish football news channel. Doesn't matter how brutal it is. We have to address it. But anyway, we begin the game, and again, Livingston's got this issue. Well, I mean, I say they've got this issue like it's easily fixed. They've got no fans, but there's a lot of fans at the side of the camera, which we can't see. Flip the cameras around. I don't care how much it costs and how much effort, right, and man hours it'll take. Sort that out. See if they're going to be in this Premiership next season, which maybe they won't be due to the late drama. Sort it out, guys, because I'm sick of it. Anyway, Nightingale, he's got a header saved off the line. The problem is, though, was it off the line? Nobody really knows whether this was off the line or not, or was it over the line. It looked over, but it's nowhere near as decisive as Raskin's goal against Hibs, which is just a disgrace. But here we've already talked about that, so we're not going to talk about it again. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't get given. Chris Sutton was pretty adamant that I think he was adamant that it should have been given. And Chris Boyd was joking with him at half time, saying like along the lines, "Oh, so you think this one's over?" Which I thought was pretty funny. Even in a Ross County Livingston game, those two are bickering at each other over shite. Montano had a shot wide. Ronan Hale then got tackled, but never a foul here. Jamie Brandon didn't really do much. Samuel, who was flinging himself all over the deck all game, got booked for simulation. Livi then get a corner just before half time. Danny Wilson manages to put it into the back of the net. Yeah, this was just absolutely crazy. This because like it was just getting pinged about left, right, and centre. It falls to Danny Wilson, puts in the back of the net. Livi take it into half time. At this point, I've got no real notes of what happened in the second half because I was live on my channel talking about my 24-25 season predictions, which I got 6 out of 12. Folks, 6 out of 12 is no bad in terms of the Premiership. Make sure you check out that stream. It'll be on my live section over on Big Stevie Cool 1872. Back to this game of football. Livi looked like they were going to see it out. Looks like it was going to be nice and easy for Livi, but then there was late penalty drama. There was a shirt pull. John Beaton gets advised to go to the monitor. It's a clear shirt pull. There's no two ways about it. The shirt is pulled here. Ronan Hale steps up. It's a penalty that you just cannot save. It hits the side net, and once it hits the side of the net, it would have to be one of the greatest saves of all. The goalie would literally have to start on that side of the net to save it once it hits that part. But he didn't. It ended 1-1, and then, like we said at the start of this video, there was spitting going on. Now, obviously, I haven't seen any footage. I'm just taking what the news reports are saying, but I doubt Ross County have made it up. And like Martindale said, if it's true, it's downright disgusting, and I echo that. Anyway, there might be more fallout to this. We'll see how it goes. Till next time, peace.